digital forensics methods leveraging open source for cyber investigations. I take this opportunity to welcome our FTP speaker and all the participants for this session. Yesterday, we had an insightful session with Mr. Aman Kumar where he shared his expertise and invaluable knowledge. It was truly an enriching experience, and I am sure we gain a lot from his insights. Today, we are privileged to have Mr. Aman Kumar with us back, and we delve deeper into his exciting and crucial domain. Without further delay, let's welcome Mr. Aman Kumar once again. Sir, we are honored to have you back, and we look forward to another enlightening session. Over to you.
Hello. Yes, very good evening, everyone. Kindly confirm my screen is visible right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks for confirmation, ma'am. A two-day session like the malware, everyone right now we have an idea like what exactly the malware is. Today's session will be on malware reverse engineering, which mean that like if any of the malicious software that come under into my system and that software contain a lot of code, can we apply a reverse engineering on that? We'll be understanding all the things in this two-day session. And startingly will be what exactly the presentation outline will be like will be first of all will be understand what exact the introduction of this it is, and thereafter we'll be understanding the reverse engineering of malware and more into this. Like we already have an idea like we have a static and dynamic, what type of malware analysis we can perform. Actually I will be covering like one is the online application that is available, and one is the offline that software I just have installed it, so that will be able to understand like without running any software, without running any malware, how we can prevent it, what will be the way it will be, and thereafter we'll be discussing about like what exact steps need to be taken it off for performing the reverse engineering. And lastly, after understanding the whole technique, thereafter we'll be understanding, we'll be able to understand like what type of in sandbox that are available, and how we can do that all kind of a malware reverse engineering using a machine learning as well. Like right now the AI like having a lot of like Python API we are having. Like when someone want to do this malware reverse engineering, very important one is should have at least understanding of programming and computer system architecture. Why? Because if the person is having a great understanding of computer architecture, will be able to more able to understand it, what exact the pattern, what exact the things that are already been inserted in a code. Let we started with the introduction. Like when we just when a people think of malware, like take an example, like the association will be started from a normal virus up to the ransomware, which mean that if my system is not responding properly, what exactly I will be thinking, I will be having a virus. If the virus mean like it will be started it from a virus and gone up to the ransomware. Ransomware mean will be going to encrypt my file. And right now, very important to understand is what exactly the malware is and how actually it works. Like take an example. Let me take a simple example for better understanding of this. Let us suppose if we have an idea like with these steps, will be able to protect myself, which mean that very similar way what exact the malware is. Malware is itself a suspicious code, and actually the hackers are using in what way. Hackers are actually using it, like let us suppose if you I want to download a one software. That software, take an example, that software is a paid version, but many of the website that provide us a pirated version as well, that provide us a, you can say, having a crack id as well, like cracked version, what exactly it is, which mean that how actually the hackers are using nowadays this reverse engineering just to understand the behavior of the this behavior of the code. After understanding it, they what after understanding the behavior of a code, they just make a changes. With that changes, what will be happened is, like reverse engineering, like why do we need to understand this reverse engineering, so that we'll be able to develop a strategies. Like it can be in an unethical manner, it can be in an ethical manner. Take an example, the example that I just have given to you, like I just have a software, which mean we'll be having an understanding these are the hashing key, and thereafter these are the strings. If anyone is going to manipulate that string, if anyone is going to make a changes in that string, that will come under the unethical way. Let we take another scenario mean, like any of the suspicious content that we will be having, like by understanding of how malware work, we will be able to develop a strategy that can easily protect our system. And like when we say this reverse engineering actually, in normal term, let us suppose, first of all, let we take in a very normal term, let we understood it, what is reverse engineering. Like already shared this, like the malware analysis, like what right now what we need to understand is what, like first of all, like let us suppose I just have a malicious code, which mean that it can be the any resource, it can be normally extracting it by just by using a sandbox, by applying a techniques. It can be a static technique or a dynamic technique, which mean I will be extracting the information, in term of, which mean hash key, string, and thereafter the and thereafter like the conditions. After this, like modeling mean whatever the data that I have just collected is, which mean that will be will be either able understanding it how actually it work. At last understanding of this will be able to review, which mean that will be able to investigate it whether it is a malware or a not. Very important one that we need to understood is when we are talking about this reverse engineering, which mean that machine learning is quite more important for this, because machine learning will be helping us to detect it. After the detection of this, let us suppose if it is a malware, which mean that thereafter we can perform a reverse engineering for extracting the string data, for extracting the related information, so that we'll be able to understand all the things in a proper way. So my first step, that means the, like take an example, like the first one, let us suppose any, let we take an example of backdoor.exe. Backdoor.exe, that that will be definitely containing a malicious code. After, when I am just going to extract it, we'll be getting a hash code and a string value. Along with that, we'll be able to retrieve a will be able to retrieve a header values as well. After this, now it is up to me. Like either if I want to do it for a learning purpose, which mean that I will be just doing it for investigation work. Investigation mean want to review it whether this containing any malicious code or not. If any of the malicious content will be there, that which mean with my understanding will be able to reverse it in a better way. Now hope right now still you everyone will be able to understand it, like it is a, like reverse engineering is a process of analyzing the malware and to understand the behavior as well as the functionality, or like what exact the purpose behind for developing this malware mean, like it will be starting it from the initial stage. Initial mean normal virus, it can up to the different type of malware category we are having. The first one, let we understand what exactly the author or auto learning, that express this thing like this process can determine how to remove the malware from a system or create defenses against it, which mean that reverse engineering process will be able to extract the data. After extracting it off, will be having at least have an idea, okay, these are the steps if I am going to perform. With that steps, will be able to at least defense from that software, which mean that, like, take an example, like without tasting we will not able to detect what exact the taste of, like, let us suppose what exact the taste of the tea, what exact the taste of the coffee will be. Similar way, like, if we are just going to click it on the malware having a malicious code, that will be by default installed in my machine. And even if we are thinking of the organization perspective mean, like, whatever the clicks I just have going to do it or right now, which mean that it can directly put it in my network, and it will be very difficult to analyze it, which mean that right now reverse engineering is a challenging. Why it is challenging? Because in the malware, the person who is actually going to write a code, the malicious suspicious code, will be definitely having a great understanding of a programming, which means that for understanding of this, like, before this we will be having a normal generalized software that was strings.exe. With that just need to apply a multiple software for performing a reverse engineering. But nowadays we, like, technology is booming, even we have a lot of software that are available in the market. With that, like, even the online available, offline available. With that, when we just click it on that software, we'll be able to just install it by just within a one click. After installing, like, not need to perform multiple steps for doing a same task, which mean that, like, find a hashing, finding a strings, finding it a matching function, by default it will be performed, will be doing all the things, so that we'll be having a all understanding of this. Now, it is very questionable things, when should we have to use this reverse engineer malware. Like, let us suppose, like, the first one is, like, malware is, let us suppose if malware is discovered, the very important thing is the security researcher just want to know what exactly it is. Think like a quick hill organization, the Casper Sky organization. Let us suppose if any of the new malicious code that is harmful right now, how they are going to propose a one model, how they are going to protect it. For the protective end, with protective end, that what exactly the researcher are doing right now, the security researcher first of all will not be able to do will not be able to understand it without applying a reverse engineering, which mean that the very important one is they have to apply the reverse engineering, need to understand it what exactly it is involving, what exact the code it right now having, which mean that researchers should must have understanding of a programming technology and computer system architecture for performing the reverse engineering malware. Why it is needed? Because if the security researcher will be having security researcher, or you can say the cyber security expert, if that person will be having a knowledge of programming, like, will be having an understanding of what exact the programming paradigm we are having, not not actually the too much of knowledge, but still have a strong understanding of all the things is required for performing the reverse engineering. And more into this, like, if he is having understanding the computer architecture, what it mean that, like, how actually the malware work, like, is it uh, is it coming from one network to another network, is it, like, we have a register, we have, like, we have a CISC, we have a risk, like, reduce instruction sets computer, like, risk and CISC. The person who is having an understanding of register risk, that person will be able to understand it, this malicious code, how actually it is going to be harm my computer system architecture, and what exactly the prevention that can be proposed. There next we have two type of static and dynamic malware analysis that will be understanding is that will be doing is like the first one is static analysis that can be done like which mean that this will containing a metadata even of a hashing of file, which mean that will not be actually see in this we will not be actually going to click it on this the click it on the malicious code, will not be clicking it on malware. We will be examining the code itself just or looking at it, looking it their meta tags, looking at metadata, looking at their file hashing technique, which mean that like what kind of a malware does without worrying about it causing any damage, because we are not going to run it in this static analysis. We are just going to look into the metadata time stamping and see, which means static analysis mean like we are not actually going to run my malicious code, just going to retrieve the metadata, hashing and timestamping only. In dynamic analysis, we'll be going to understand the behavior of a malware, which mean that we need to run that code. Like we cannot run it in local machine. If we are going to run it in my local machine, what will be happened is it will by default that whatever the behavior of the current malware is, take an example, it is going to just take a control and thereafter going to swap this control to another organization that will be activated, which mean that I cannot run it on my local machine. I just need to download either virtual machine or a sandbox. Sandboxy will be discussing it thereafter, because we do have an online platform as well for performing the sandbox. Like after identification of the behavior, thereafter how actually we are going to understand this behavior by running it in a sandbox. Sandbox is nothing like what exactly it will be doing. Like it is the isolation. I'm just going to show you so that we'll be able to understand in a more better way. As you can see right now, sandbox is nothing, it is just a isolation software. That means, like take an example, like if I have installed a windows 34 or a windows 64, it means it is provided in a different, it like if it just I'm just going to click it here. Actually we do have a many of the website that are actually providing us this facility online as well. Very important to understand is like this is just an isolation software. Why it is developed is it is developed just for, like we cannot run this malware in my local machine. We just need a one platform where we can run this. That concept is known as dynamic analysis of why we are going to run it, so that we'll be able to retrieve the code, we'll be able to retrieve the understandable information. After retrieving the whole understandable information, and actually this will be allowing us to select the malware file, and thereafter it will be run it, but not running it in your locally, it will be running it in a virtual environment. After running it, will be retrieving the data. Take an example, if data contain any malicious code, which mean it will not allow to open a file. If it does not contain any of the malicious code, which mean this will allow you to open a file. Let's you take an example, the text file if you are going to give will be allowing you to open. If you are going to importing, let us suppose a ultraviewer or ultraviewer or a backdoor, any suspicious content like having a malware, like will not be allowed to open it. I hope you all are right now able to understand us, like what exactly the static analysis is and what exactly the dynamic analysis right now we are having. Like in simply, if we are going to explain, I'm just going to simplify it. If like the static analysis, that will be more focusing it on just the metadata, just will be focusing it on just retrieving the hash keys. Whereas the dynamic analysis, if we are going to talk about, that actually contain that actually contain that actually contain that actually execute the malware. After executing the malware, which means we will be able to will be able to run the code, but in a controlled environment. And what kind of a techniques we are applying will be discussing thereafter. And let we go into more like what exact the steps are actually for performing the reverse engineering. The first of all, if we want to perform any reverse engineering process, we should have a malware, which means the malware we can like when we just down open any of the website, many of the website already downloading a many like malicious code. Like it can be like take an example if I'm just going to open a get into PC. As you can see right now, see as you can see right now, many of the software, take an example MS Office. If I'm just going to search it out here, when we just click it on here, it means that like as you can see this is provide. As you can see right now, like we this provide us a facility to download a software. After downloading it, which mean already having a crack as well. And how actually they are going to crack it, which mean what exactly they just have performed. Hackers actually doing how actually the hackers are doing in that manner, they are doing it in an unethical manner. Because Microsoft Office, any other software that we are using in for daily use, which mean that are a paid software. And this is our responsibility as well. Like we do not need to use any of like pirated software. Why? With the reason is because that contain a malicious code. Like if we have a malicious code in our system, which means the very first one is, let us suppose if I want to perform a reverse engineering, my first step will be I should have to download a malware from the internet. That can be any of the site that we can use any of the site for, like malware.com. Even we have a site. Like after this we just need to obtain a disassembler. Disassembler mean decompilation, like compiled code already, like the setup will be already having, now need a decompiler. Decompiler mean like will be able to decompile it, like whatever the process that we have done it for perform doing creating an executable profile. Right now we need to perform the reverse process for see the actual understandable code, which mean that we have to install tool for doing this process, because without installing of any tool will not be able to do. Thereafter, after this, after whatever the code decompilation process, after the decompilation of process, what exactly will be getting, which mean that it will help us to understand it, what exactly that file contain, what exact that software contain. And like already said this thing, like if we have a well understanding, if we have a more understanding, then we will be able to understand it, how actually it is going to work, and what the kind of a precaution we can take. The next step is the fourth one. See, right now, in first step, we just have downloaded a one application, one normal malware. After this, just need to download a one tool. After downloading the one tool, we'll be able to, let us suppose a string.exe. Let us suppose string.files that we are given to retrieve. That all the files we just need to put it in a sandbox, which will be the safe place where we will be able to run our code. That means actually going to run our code, not in our local machine, which means it will not affect your computer. Whatever the process, whatever the risk, that like it will be the infected code, it will be the suspicious code, it will be running it in a sandbox, like it will be running it in a isolation. After running it in isolation, we have to observe the whole behavior. After observing the whole variable behavior, there next we just need to create a report, like whatever the our finding was. Like the finding can be PE, like portable executable files. PE, it can be the string formation, it can be anything like that. I'm just going to show you what exact the things it can be, so that we'll be able to understand in a more better. As you can see right now, it can be the entry point, it can be the image base, it can be the section header, it can be the imported function, which mean that like PE is portable executable files. Portable executable file mean .exe or .el file, .dll file. After putting in this .exe or a DLL file, the lastly, like what whatever the result, we just need to create a one report. After this, after this, with our understanding, we'll be able to develop a one model, or you can say we'll be able to prevent it. Same process actually the organization like such as Kaspersky, the Quick, other organization are also performing. Why they are performing? Because they don't have like antivirus is actually itself a virus, which mean that whatever the virus antivirus we are going to download, even though when we just install remote login process remote login, let us suppose Ultradesk or Anydesk, every software that what exactly we are going to install is having still having at least one or a two virus definition as well. We'll be showing you all the things and later on, so that we'll be able to more understand into this. Let we first do the static analysis technique that already discussed, and the tool will be using it so that everyone will be able to understand it. The first one will be doing it by online, and thereafter will be moving it to a offline software application. The first one is the virus total. Like this is the static analysis. This come under the static analysis. Like it is just a cross referencing, and whatever the like it will provide you whether this whatever the sample mean actually file, the file that we, it can be the executable file, it can be the DLL file. And when we are just going to put this file in this, it will analyze all the information that will be like the hashing technique, the file size, the signature, complete info, and even this also contain the information of the strings files as well. Let me just do it right now so that all will be having an understanding. Like first of all, if I'm just going to click it on this and take an example, I just have downloaded TeamViewer as well as UltraViewer. As you can see, it is just computing it. After computing of this, see, TeamViewer, not as you can see right now, everyone is co- like recommending this thing. Use TeamViewer for doing a remote task. Why? Because TeamViewer, like community score is as which mean no security vendor, which mean whatever the not having any of the malicious code right now, everything is undetected. Take an example. If I'm just going to put any other application like any desk, as you can see, having a one Trojan Chanic HT Zos info detail, which mean that with this we'll be able to at least get and will be able to get all the basic property. What exactly it contain is containing the hashing technique, containing the all like what exact the file type it is, and the TRID detecting. It also detect the file size as well. Like the file size is just 3.85 MB, and if just I'm just going to reanalyze it as well. As you can see that like like the the creation type, the signature date, and the first seen in the wild, everything, whatever the detail that is necessary for getting like for checking it out whether it is malicious or not. All the detail, it is going to be provided a button statistically. Like this analysis is helpful for, like, let us suppose we just have download any of the application, like we just want to check it out whether it is a malicious or not. This will be the cross reference, cross this will be the online application that will be helpful for checking it out. It, like with this, just need to select the we just need to select the file, even not need to have an account on this, just need to select the file. After selecting a file, we'll be able to retrieve all the data, and even providing a for navigation, like the from the URL, from the search, even having a reference view as well. Take an example, if you want to understand it, like what exactly this, like the API, if we want to integrate, every detail is already available here, like how what exactly the endpoint we can do is, and how, as you can see right now, it will analyze your file with 70 plus antivirus product and even 10 plus dynamic analysis sandboxes, which mean that we just have inputted a file, how quickly it is going to be scan all the things, like whatever the file that we just have inputted, it will be going to scan it from multiple antiviruses. After this, if any of the suspicious content, if it is going to be found, will be going to indicate in a red signal, so that it will be able to understand, okay, this is the suspicious one. And moreover, like, and thereafter, like this scan report, every in the each normal person can easily understand this scan report as well, that will be containing information that will be related to the hashing, file size, signature, as well as the as well as what exact the section, all the section detail will be there. Now, after doing of this, let we, the next one is, this is the normal virus total that is online available, which mean that let we go more further, what kind of another analysis we are having. Like the next analysis we have is string analysis. The string analysis, like, we have ASCII code, we have a universal code, like American Standard Code of Information Interchange, that kind of a code that are actually containing in my binary file. Binary files that can be the executable file, that can be the DLL file. Like, let us suppose if the string pattern that is, you can say that is that attacker already having an idea, this is a string pattern, and going to change that pattern, which mean that going to change the pattern mean, take an example, 1 month trial software we just have downloaded, and just going to change the string pattern. With the changing a string pattern, which mean by default that will be considering it as a fake string. And what exactly this will able, this will, the fake patterns, fake string will be disrupt the investigation, so that we just need to take care of this string analysis as well. We do have, actually we have a two software that can be used it for string analysis. One is string 2. This is a command line utility, and available for Windows 32 and a 64 bit. But, and when it, I already have provided you the both GitHub link. But for this right now, we'll be understanding the flare flaws. Why we are able to, we are going to understand this, because it or not only provide you just only the extraction of string, will be providing you the decoding as well, for performance string decoding as well. Like, let us first go to this link. As you can see right now, we are right now on a GitHub repository. Like this is the open source code available, like flare flaws. This is actually the Apache 2.0 licensed, which mean that if you want to download a source code, just by clicking it on this, we will be able to download a source code. But actually, when we want to install it, we just need a executable file. We just need a release. When we just go down little, and there in this, having a block post as well, and installation releases as well. From here will be able to download, like that all dependent it on our operating system. Let us suppose if Linux is installed, we'll be able to download the Linux version. If Mac is installed, already three version are already available. Like I already have downloaded. If you want to download it, can download it by just clicking it on this link, which means when we click it on this link, this will be downloaded. I already have downloaded, not going to download it. After downloading of this, first of all, let we try to understand what exact it is and what exact the role of this flaw. Which mean, after downloading of this, as you can see, this will be downloaded. And when we just going to extract this in, like after extraction of this, just after downloading of a zip file, just need to extract it by clicking it on extract all. Thereafter, we'll be getting this instance. Even when we click it on this, it will not perform anything. Like this is not a way to directly run it. I will be showing you the way how we can utilize it, what exact the way is to use this. Before understanding of this, let we first understand why they have created it and what exact the use of this. Like already said, like person the security researcher should have an at least understanding of programming. After understanding of programming, which mean will be able to execute a tool. Let me first understand it how actually it work. First of all, like as you can see right now, the first version that was we were having a stings.exe. How actually it was working is, like in this we'll be having this code, will be having this code. After this pseudo code, like it will be able to deduct, it will be able to retrieve the string pattern. In this string pattern, like like in this string pattern, that mean user, like if the person is very experienced one, will be able to understand this string pattern. Otherwise it is very hard, because the reason behind is this the researcher should have an understanding of assembly language as well. If we want to understand like Leah move and all, which mean that these are the, you can say, the symbol, like special, these are the symbolic in language. Symbolic language means should have to understand the complete assembly language. Thereafter will be able to perform. Thereafter, what exactly they have created right now, they have introduced this flaws is fire eye labs of scripted string solver mean, which is actually released by Apache 2.0. And why it is most useful, the reason behind is, like as you can see, it work against a large corpus of the malware as well. It means like not need to like seem like a sting.exe tool, but in benefit of this is, like it will be used as by the malware analyst, forensic investigator, even the incidental reporter. They also can look into this string, like just by selecting a binary file. After selecting the binary file, will be able to retrieve the whole information. not in that assembly language, in just a normal, like this is the header content, this one is the get request, and thereafter what exact the host it is, and what exact the string information it is containing. As you can see right now in front of this, like able to understand it in a easiest manner. But sting.exe, if we are talking about this sting.exe, in this should have an understanding of assembly language, thereafter will be able to understand sting.exe. That means this method, the flaws is much better as compared to sting.exe. This actually the process for running is same to same, but the reason is like nowadays whatever the tool, whatever the software tool that we are having, that means they are providing us a very leveled facility. Like with that, take an example, we let us suppose in this we will be able to retrieve the ASCII and a UTF, all kind of a string from any of the file. After after retrieving all the things, I'm just going back to this. Let me first do it, and thereafter we'll be discussing it in a practical manner. Like, first of all, we just need to download it. After downloading of this, we have to open a command prompt here. We have a two-way. First way is just open a command prompt. In this, right now, we just click it on cd slash. First of all, we just need to open a command prompt here. The first way simple is just go it here and type cmd, which mean what exactly I just have done is in the is normal URL window, and this PC window just need to type cmd. The first step, I'm just going to repeat all these steps so that we'll be able to. First one is need to download it. After downloading, click it on extract. After extracting of this, just go to the folder and which contain this flaws file. Thereafter, just need to open a command prompt here. After opening a command prompt, let us suppose if I'm just going to write flaws hyphen hyphen h help. As you can see, this provide me all the information related to this hyphen hyphen h, like which mean like what exact the flags are right now available and how we can extract the information. Even if we want to learn more into this, having a GitHub repository link as well. Like it already showing this thing like string. It let us suppose if we want to retrieve the static string, regular ASCII or a UTF 16 LD string will be able to retrieve. Stack string, typed string, decoded string, everything we will be able to retrieve. And what kind of a language specific string it will be, like string from the binary written in a Go or a Rust. Before this, when we were talking about string.exe, that was using a assembly language. But right now, like the positional argument, like take an example, if we want to have to more analyze into a sample file, let us suppose the malware is a keyword, I just want to search it on that, we'll be having an option like having a help, like having a multiple flag bits as well, like that I just have uses right now. Hyphen h. Hyphen h is for checking it out what exact the flag and whatever the command it is containing. And thereafter, like if we already have a knowledge of seal technology or a C++ technology, like std out, std error, like standard input output file, these are std out, which mean that let us suppose if any of the logging argument containing any of the issue, which mean we have a flag with my hyphen q, even showing the example as well how we can use it, like the flaws, and thereafter should have to type the detail. Let us suppose if I'm doing just flaws, I have a ultra viewer. When we just drag into the command prompt, by default it will get a exact path of my file. and just going to click it on here. As you can see right now, extracting the static string. It will be analyzing the whole program. After analyzing the whole program, will be giving us an string information. As you can see right now, like first of all decoding all the functional feature. After decoding all the functional feature, for the first one was that already shown in this, like this one, like static string, like regular ASCII and UTF string, it will be finding. Thereafter will be, as you can see right now, it is providing me the whole string information, like static, all the information, the whole information we can retrieve, all the string information. The hash key we can retrieve it from the virus total. After this, if we want to retrieve the whole string information, we can retrieve out with this way. After retrieving the whole information of all the string, as you can see right now, it is showing a UTF-16 LE information as well. That is static string, like what exact the file, what exact the the header file it containing. It's providing us a complete information, like what exact the DLL file it contains, what exact the pattern it is going to be stored. And even though you can see right now, the even having a month of the like Sunday, Monday, all the days, or that all are under this string functions right now. And what exactly, which means first of all, it will be displaying you the normal string function. After string static string function, thereafter will be showing you static string, typed string, and thereafter the decoded string. After this, whatever the detail that we are going to get, we just need to copy the whole detail. After copying the whole detail, then we just need to create a report, which means this will be used it for and like investigation. This will be used it for like what exact the URL it containing. Every URL detail you will be able to get, like whether it is malicious or not. But that all dependent on if anyone is going to manipulate the string, which mean that will be the unethical way, like cracking of software, like this, like which mean that I hope all will be able to understand right now how we can use this flare floss and what exact the benefit of this flare floss is. And if you want to read more into this, already having a lot of info, already having a document information that we can you can use it for understanding the complete information. Let me understand it. What exact how actually this flaws work. Right now we just have understood like the flaws and what exactly the way we can use it, and thereafter what will be the benefit of this that I have shown right now in front of you by just selecting a one file. And I'm just going to open it again right now because see, right now we will be able to understand is like what exact the benefit of this. Like for hash key we have another tool that is used for hashing. When we talk about the Zara, like Zara tool, which mean if I'm just going to open the GitHub repository, any of GitHub repository for open source Jara tool, that the GitHub. As you can see right now, every file will contain a strings. Every file will contain a one. Every file will contain a metadata. Every file will contain a string data. Every file will contain a conditional data. Like, which mean we just need a multiple tool so that we'll be able to retrieve a meta, we will be able to retrieve a string. Static analysis mean do it manually. Static analysis mean without running a running any malware, just to retrieve whole information. Like the first one that we have used was the virus total, that was used it for that was used for getting the hashing pattern, actually getting the SHA-255 MD5 algorithmic techniques. And thereafter we have used this we have used it for extracting the string type information. It can be the static stack type string, or you can say decoded string, that already been shown to you. What will be happen, take an example, if we are going to, if let us suppose if I'm just going to add any of the PDF file, what will be happening in this? Take an example, this is, I just have a GH police cybercrime file. If I'm just to paste it here, let me try it out what exactly it is retrieving me. If we are going to adding the file, as you can see right now, what exactly it is showing, like we will be able to add only the executable file. Like take an example, any of the file which contain a suspicious content, yes or no. Let, like the team viewer that already have downloaded, which is not having any malicious code, let me try to with that team viewer, so that we'll be able to understand the more better way. Like we cannot input it any of like the other formatted file, it will be the malware or it will be the non-malware file, like it will be the executable file or a DLL file. Let me copy the path of this team viewer and put it here. As you can see right now, if I'm just going to put the path of this, we'll be able to run it out, which mean that this does not contain any string that can harm my system. This is the benefit of loss, which mean that whenever we just download any software, we just need to put it in this flaws. If any of the problem will be occurred, will not us to allow us to run it. If in, let us suppose if any of the problem will not found, as you can see right now, when I'm just going to execute this file, just clicking it on this, let us just wait for a minute. What exact the response we will be getting? The reason behind will be like why it is as you can see right now, flaws accepting starting string cannot able to retrieve it. By the reason behind is having a larger than this with byte. Let us suppose if we are performing it on ultra viewer, what exactly we will be able to retrieve it. Sorry, by mistake. Able to retrieve it and able to analyze the all information the related to the string. I hope all will be able to understand, like this is a static analytical tool for like extracting the string. It can be the static one, it can be the type string, it can be the decoder strings, which mean that we'll be able to retrieve all the string information. After retrieving it all, whatever the result it will be providing, it will render the whole result, and thereafter will be providing you in this normal command on the command prompt, so that we'll be able to just need to copy it, and just thereafter we'll be able to analyze it, what exactly it contain, what kind of a string it will contain, and thereafter need to match it with the rule library, and everything like do have to do it manual way. Let let we understand this, like after the processed this how actually it work. The first one is, the first step was like first need to just run this by using a command prompt. After running in this, it will analyze your program, it will analyze the program, will identify the data, code, function, basic block, each and everything, like the cross referencing everything. After analyzing the whole, the second step, like it will be decoding the all routine, like will be providing you the complete header detail, like what exact the link it is containing, and thereafter brute force emulate all code path among basic blocks and function, which mean that whatever the basic blocks and function that are already been created, it will apply a brute force. Brute force is actually like if you don't have solution, just what like brute forces, just by hook or crook just achieve it, and thereafter will be able to get the whole string information. After retrieving all the appropriate point in a fourth one, after, thereafter it will go to the state and will take whatever it is going to decode it, it will be going to render it all the information. After rendering it all the information, it will show in on it on a console, so that human person will be able to read it. which mean which mean that, as you can see right now, what exactly the final state that will be after extracting all, it will provide us ASCII or a UTF 16 LE format. And what exactly it will be in a shown, it will be shown it in our on screen, which means this is a standalone executable files of a flaws. And the benefit of this is available for all platform, and thereafter with this we'll have to just will be able to retrieve this kind of a string, that with that we'll be able to analyze whether it containing a malicious code or not. Now, let me talk about the dynamic analysis technique. I hope all will be able to understand static techniques. We have a different tool that I have shown to you. The first tool that we have used was virus tool. The second tool that I have shown to you this flaws. And next, let me talk about this dynamic analysis technique. Dynamic analysis technique not same like as a static techniques, which mean we just need to run the code for analyzing it, but we cannot run it in our local machine, we just need to run it in a virtual environment. Virtual environment mean like the sandbox. Virtual environment what exactly like like reverse engineering is the process when we are going to perform the dynamic malware analysis. Dynamic malware analysis mean need to understand the functionality, and after understanding the functionality will be able to develop a model, so that will be able to like how we that if it is going to be separate it from one system to another. That means just need to create a one mechanism just to hold on it, just to prevent other systems as well. The first application that used for this dynamic analysis, which is a process monitor. The process monitor, Hello, am I audible? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thanks for the information. Like process monitor, like this is the application. Actually, this is a tool that like like every analyst actually use this tool. Like this is actually a malware hunting toolkit. Like when we this is available it on this Microsoft, available provided by the Microsoft. As if you want download it, this is the installation link. After this we'll be able to download it like this. In this, as you can see, having a first link, that is a download process monitor. What exactly it is doing, like we when we install a window in our machine, like in our system, after installing a window, we'll be having a lot of services, as I'm just going to show you like this, like having a lot of services, like having a lot of services. Even we have a multiple registry file, we have a registry files as well. Like these are the registry file, these are the registry files we are having, which mean that when like take an example, just think about this. Take an example, according to the PID, we want to filter it out how many processes are actually interrelated to this. That means we do just need to install a one malware hunting toolkit, which means take an example, if it is very harmful malicious code that contain a multiple, that contain a lot of processes that are actually not needed, which mean that when the more data is captured where the operation of input to the output parameter, even though let us suppose the reliable capture of multiple process detail, if we want to filter it out, all the things we can do it with using this analysis with using process monitor. For this we just need to click it here. When we click it on here, this will be just going to redirect to a download. When it after downloading of this, we'll be having a process monitor. This file will actually containing a normal information like license arguments and what exact the scope of this license, all detail like what, like please like already aware why it is going to aware us about like having complete process state information, having complete like take an example, what exactly this tool will be containing the identifiable as well as the sensitive information. Sensitive information mean your registry accessed information. And like when we are going to use this, which mean this is our responsibility, like we are going to get this identifiable information, sensitive information, like like that mean this is a responsibility, we just need to use it, but in a very understandable manner. Like when we are just going to install, like it will provide us a three application like 32, 64, and 64A. And when we just click it on this, like it will be opening this PID, like having a complete process ID, how actually it is going to be interlinked together. When we just open a task manager, that does not actually contain the whole information, even though we are not able to retrieve the process ID as well. But if we want to investigate it, we should have to understood it what exactly. See, right now this normally the Microsoft Edge is open. I'm just going to click it out. Here we just not having any information much about this. Here we have how actually it is going to be interlinked and what exact the PID is, which mean every information is right now available, what exact the file right now it containing. And even though having having multiple option, when we just click it on right side, right click, when we just click it on right click, even having an information like what exactly you want to include more, want to include TID, parent ID. This mean that the person who is having a very great understanding of architecture as well as or the operating system understanding, which mean what exact PID is, TID, that can easily analyze it. And moreover, we can apply a filter on that. Let us suppose if I'm just going to click it on filter, here we have an option of multiple, like as you can see, like on architecture, I can find it out on any of the, like let us suppose if I'm just going to want to find it out on a parent ID, sorry, process name. Take an example, the malware I want to find. Just here we have a include, which mean add. As you can see here, it has added a one file, the process. After this, it is just going to filtering it out whether it containing any information or not. As you can see, not any of the file that can is malware, file that start with the malware, which mean that like this process is very important for analyzing, which mean like whatever the display entry, if you want to match it with having a not only the is condition, is not, less than, more than, begin, end, contain, exclude, all the detail already already multiple information is already available. And even though if we want to exclude it, just need to put it in this condition, thereafter it will be excluding, like as you can see right now by default, like procmon.exe, the other files autoruns.exe, it is just going to include it in this and from the path, which mean just first of all we just need to select the column. In this, having a multiple option like image path, category, command line, multiple path we are having like user, and thereafter just need to select the relation, the association, like is. I just have shown you right now the process that I just have included. Like is mean like when I just want to filter it out from the process name is, let us suppose any malware with this, and thereafter we'll be able to if add a filter. After filtering of this, will be able to analyze it. Okay, this is the PID and how actually this is going to be associated with which path, and thereafter what exact the detail of this. Which mean that this process monitor like monitor from creation to the termination of the process, because a normal task manager will be just providing you a normal information, but whatever the information that we are going to access it, that is a responsibility, because already mentioned in this agreement, already they already have mentioned is like having a complete process state information, like which mean like this tool contain whatever the identity, like your password, your usernames, path from where this file is going to be accessed, even the registry access path, everything it will be containing. And now it is our sole responsibility, we should have to use it, but in a very restricted manner, or just need to use it just for the analyze purpose only. Because if we are just going to use it just for a fun, that means we will be able to might we will- it will we, it will be harmful for us, because have what the suspicious information that can be. Now let we understood it why this process monitor we need is, like first of all, let we I'm just going to simplify it, like when we just have a multiple input at our output parameter, like non-destructive filter that allow us to set a filter without losing our data, and whatever the capture thread like PID, TID, and it will be able to identify it what exact the root cause of the operation, like will be able to retrieve, like it will be able to retrieve the process detail, including an image path, command line, user, and session ID. And more into this, let us suppose if we want to set any data field, like the data field that I just have added, we will be able to include it, exclude it, and that will be reflected it in a drop down menu. And thereafter, this process tree tool that will be showing the relation as well, like whatever the reference is to be traced, everything we can do it in this. And this is very easiest one, like for getting the process image information, like even having a tooltip as well. Tooltip as well mean, which mean, take an example, if I am the newer one not having much knowledge, like just clicking it on this will be showing us a tooltip, detailed tooltip. That means we'll be able to understand, okay, what this is the use of this column field and how actually I can use it out. And like here, having an info, having a cancelable search as well, which mean we can again go to the previous state as well, and thereafter boot time logging of all the operations is also available. Take an example, if I'm going to just, if I'm just going to exclude any of the file, which mean when I'm just going to boot it out, will not be logged in, will not be like dx.dxdiog that actually the command that we will be using. That's the same process we can perform it in this process monitoring as well. This is a thing that I just have shown to you. This is my system screenshot, like having a detail of process name, PID, operation path, result, and the detail of all the thing, which mean like how actually it help like when with the normal analyst want to track all the activity after the execution, will be able to track, will be able to track it, which include all registry key, creation of file, initiation of network, and able to observe it, what kind of the like will be able to have a more information, so that will be able to retrieve the insight into the malware's behavior. And lastly, like during the static analysis, having an information of hashing and string. Right now with this, having an information of complete registry key, having an information of whether it is initiated on a network or not, like having a complete tree, like having a complete tree, which mean that will be able to configure it out. And if having a multiple column that can be included or excluded, with that we'll be able to at least retrieve the whole path. And let us suppose if any of the name, that take an example, any dot malware.exe, if not found, we'll be able to filter it out as well. Just that I just have shown to you, like if I'm just going to select a process name relation and going to input a one value malware, if it is not going to be found, it will be showing us, okay, this is not going to be found, which mean the offset information, the query information, like it is going to be handle having a handler tag or not, all the detail it will be provided us. Now the sandbox, like we have a multiple sandboxes, those are online available. If I'm just going to show you the two or a three, so that we'll be able to understand us the sand. See, this is the online sandbox. Sandbox mean will be actually run your application, run your malware. After running it, will be providing you the whole detail. Take an example. If we have a one malicious application, we want to analyze it, but by running it, which mean we just need to use a sandbox. Sandbox is a isolation software application. We actually, this is available online and offline as well. If we want to use have an experience of offline, just need to download this from Sandboxy. And if you do not want to download it, then we have an online platform as well. With this platform, just need to drop a file. That after dropping a file, it will it will first run the file. After running the file, will be extracting the whole information. After extracting the whole information, thereafter will be providing you the detail that is used for analysis. Now let me move further. Let me understand that what exactly how actually the hackers are using nowadays this information. And actually, the hackers often use reverse engineering. Why they are using reverse engineering? For performing the vulnerability of the system and the devices. And see, if the hacker is already having a software like software or a hardware machine want to trigger it out, which mean that just need to bypass a security. For bypassing of security, need to understand it. What exact the information, what exact the things that can be done it, like that can let us suppose normal header file that contain a malicious link. With that link will be able to get my detail. Similar that all the things can be done it using a reverse engineering. This is the actually hackers are doing it, which mean they are taking it all the things in a unethical manner. And even though what they are using it for creating a pirated copy of like the copyrighted software, like already shown to you, like the Microsoft Office, even though this is a paid version, but of many of the software application, those are actually available. The pirated copies are available. And how actually they are doing it, this is the unethical one. And more into this, like if they are having a in detailed of this, like this is the way actually this product is right now working, will be able to create a one more words and definition as well. Now, the unethical uses of reverse engineering, like malware cloning. Malware cloning mean like modification of data, like trojanized software, like game utility. Let us suppose just having a normal malicious code integrated into a one file, and thereafter this kind of a things are actually can the these all are unethical use case of this reverse engineering. Like if we are going to use it just for investigation, that will be the best one. Let us suppose if we are having a knowledge of hashing string and going to use in an unethical way, which mean that come under all all the things into a crime. So that this is our responsibility. Like don't use it in unethical way. Like creation of network. Like let us suppose if I have a string information, I have a header information, I can easily launch a toss injection. I they can easily inject us like sending a spam email, stealing our data. Why? Because the header files actually contain a URL. If having a URL, someone is just going to click it on that malicious application, will be by default detected. Like adware. I'm just talking about the adware. Adware mean like when we just open a browser any URL, by default it will be redirected to another URL. All kind of these are the botnets. If the hackers are going to create, all come under the ethical use case. What exactly the ethical consideration we need to, as an analyst, as a researcher? First one is it is our prime responsibility to understand the behavior. What whatever our understanding is, we have to use it in an ethical way. We have to use it for defense purpose as well. Like reverse engineering is just do this reverse engineering just to find out the vulnerability, for creating a new threat. And more into this, like if anything that is harmful for you, just understand it how we can prevent it out. What exact the attacker is misusing the information, so that putting it into a right direction. this will be our ethical consideration. Now let we do the machine learning process all, so that we'll be able to understand the whole things. Like take an example from machine, like malware detection to malware reverse engineering, all the process will be doing in right now. The first of all, for this, the first one, like first of all, like why do need malware setup? Because why do we need malware detection and thereafter malware reverse engineering? In machine learning, we don't have even an idea how actually this malicious code can be and how actually it will be harmful. So that very first step is we should have to understood what exactly whatever the file, this is malicious or not. After understanding of okay, this file contain a malware, thereafter we just need to perform a reverse engineering. In my first step, let I am just going to show you all the things, so that the first of all, in Google Colab, first of all, we just need to mount this. For mounting a Google code, right? For this, we just need a necessary library. These are the library that are necessary. The first one is NumPy. NumPy library that we required it for numerical operation. The Panda library for manipulation. And we also need SCI kit learn. Why this is needed? Like for applying a model technique. And one file job lib, that is which mean whatever the model that we are going to create, if we want to store that model, we just need a job lib library. So as you can see right now, like I just need NumPy, Pandas, SCI kit, and job lib library. With the help of this pip library is actually for used for installation. Like only for a first time you need to install library. If not installed, after installation of all the library, the second thing, like why this TF-ID vector, actually this is, as you can see right now, TF-ID is actually used. This is the extraction technique for natural language processing. What exactly it will be doing? It will convert my text into a numerical value, because my executable file, my DLL file, I will be showing you that executable and DLL file as well. As you can see right now, here I just have a two folder. This folder contain a hash key, means this folder contain the executable file. As you can see right now, this folder contain all the executable files, and these files mean they not having any of the virus in this file. Malware mean having a malicious code in this file, .exe file. So that I just have used TF-ID vectorization. Why I have used vectorization? So that whatever the binary file it will be able to retrieve the numerical data. This is a natural language processing technique actually, and with that we'll be able to convert text into a numerical value. After converting the text into a numerical value, Thereafter, very important one is we just need to define a path. Here you can see right now in this sample data. Here you can see right now when we just open this. Here we can see the content folder. Here we have a drive folder. In this my drive containing a one folder Colab notebook. In this data folder contain a two folder. Just need to copy, just need to click it here. Thereafter copy the path and thereafter just need to paste it here. After pasting of this will be the path that we will be getting. This is for malware mean not having a virus, malware mean having a virus. And thereafter just need to create a one folder, models folder in this Colab notebook so that will whatever the action that we are going to perform, this is the action will be for detection of malware. After installing all the necessary library, thereafter just need to define the path. After defining all the path, thereafter see the benefit like that we just need to create a function for get all the path. Like this will be containing all the multiple, like this is a folder will be having a multiple file in this. For that we just need a one library os library. As you can see right now, what exactly this os library, this will be getting the whatever the in this folder will be able to retrieve in all the list directory. After this going to put it in this target folder, which means I just have created a one normal array and put it in this target folder. Everything it will be appended with the help of append function. And after this, see, this is the function that I have just created, which means I will be creating I will be going to call this function definition two times. Why? The first definition will be for malware path, second definition will be for benign path. After this will be combine both passes, both path, and there accordingly will be going to train my machine. As you can see right now, till now we'll be able to run it proper way, which mean if I'm just going to go into this first one task was to set up at after task is after setting, which mean load necessary file. After loading all the necessary file, thereafter data set preparation include three path: malware, bind, and model directory. After defining it all, then after just need to load all the file from these paths. After this, what exactly we have done is combine the path and labels. And after labeling it all, then what is the next task we need to do is, which after this labeling, now we just need to read the content and thereafter we have this tfid vector which this function will be able to retrieve the text, which means the string feature we need to retrieve. The maximum feature range that I just have given is 20,000. Let me done this function for reading the file content, which means this will decode the same operation that we will be doing it in a statical manner. Right now everything we will be doing it in a functional call, which means this tfid vectorizer having the maximum feature that I have defined is 20,000. With this I just have called this function read file content from the path. What exact the path it is? Path mean from the all paths. All paths mean like all malware and non-malware. Each and every path is right now available in this all path. It is right now retrieving the complete file data and thereafter going to decode it. After decoding of this, like extracting all the string feature, which mean from the binary file to a text. And thereafter this numpy dot array that contain all this label mean like the length of this malware path and length of the this benign path, like, and thereafter which mean that what exactly going on right now, let me try to understand it. Which mean first of all we just have extract the feature. The extract feature mean getting a content from the binary file and decoded into a string. Why decoded into a string? So that we'll be able to understand it whether it is a malware or not. In these extraction of feature, we have done it using a TF-IDF. TF-IDF is this NLP technique actually. That means for converting into a numerical feature. After converting this into a feature, thereafter we right now we have a vectorizer dot fit transformation and yn by n numpy dot arrays, that is the label format. Now, right now, feature extraction. Now, a task is to train the model, which means to develop a model. For developing of a model, we just need to, like, for the training and the testing set, I just divided into 80-20 category, like 80 percentage of training and 20 percentage of testing. Here you can see right now, like for training and test applet, I just need to call sklearn library that I just already tell you. And for this, what exactly the classifier that I have used is decision tree classifier. And from this matrices, the evaluation matrix, what exactly will be using, that's accuracy score, like classification score, like the accuracy, precision score, recall score, and F1 score. This will be all will be under this scalar, and thereafter job lib. Why I'm just going to use the job lib? Because whatever the model that I'm going to create it will be able to store it, that model. The first task is to split the data set, training and testing the set, which mean like point two mean like 80-20, like 80-20 that I just have shown to you right now, having a 80 percentage of training and 20 percentage of testing. Thereafter, very important one is need to decide which classifier I need to use. I just have used a decision tree classifier for training the data. And why this is actually taking a time, the reason behind is it is just going to retrieve the whole file path having a multiple file and this, and thereafter will be providing you the result. And lastly, as you can see, actually I just have run it before explaining to you all this. As you can see right now, after training this tree classifier, then we have to create the evaluation matrix. Evaluation matrix mean like this we have imported na accuracy score, the precision score, this recall score, the F1 score. As you can see right now, with these function we'll be able to evaluate the model. In this valuation, in this valuation matrix, as you can see right now, 96.50 percentage of accuracy I am getting. The 96.10, the precision I am getting. The recall is 91. Have not applied any of the hypertuning for more improvement, because I am just going to create it just for detecting the malware. After detection of this malware, then we'll be applying a malware reverse engineering. These files already shared it on the canvas, that will be available it on a canvas as well. Like after this is already said this thing, like for saving the trained model, then we just need to use joblib.dump. The benefit of this, like this will be saved in this model. As you can see right now, the model, I'm just going to click it here. Here we have the save. Here we have the saved decision tree model.pickle file, which mean that when it will be completely running, thereafter it will by default store a one pickle file. Pickle file mean with this opening of this pickle file, I will be able to predict it. For the prediction, like I just need to upload a file. after uploading a file will be able to easily predict it. It means after storing it in this, now after storing is just need to load the saved model. For same like job will be used it for dumping a file. Job load for method that will be used it for opening a pickle file. After opening this pickle file, see, as you can see right now, I am able to open it. The function that I just have created, like take an example in this, just need to apply. See, the first one was hash function. Hash function means thereafter extracted a string function. Now I need to apply condition. In this, like see, if return, if prediction is zero, prediction equal to one, which means malware. Otherwise, it is not a malware. That means it is a benign. There accordingly, first of all, we just need to upload a one malware file. My file, the like backdoor.exe. As you can see, backdoor.exe, this is a malware having a malicious code. I just have uploaded it on a Google Drive and thereafter just put this link for prediction. Thereafter, the function that I just have created right now, the predict function, the rule of this predict function will be like whatever the file I am going to upload, like that I just need to put it in this in the Google Drive. After putting it in a Google Drive, as you can see right now, the previous the previous code cell already been run, and right now if I'm going to run this, as you can see, getting a 96 percentage of accuracy, and thereafter this model is going to be saved in the pickle file. After this, for loading and for usage of this, take an example. If I'm going to run it right now, as you can see, this contain a malicious code, which means showing that malware. That means without any involvement of any of the person, just need to first develop a normal model. This model will be able to identify it, like whether it containing, which means that this model can be used, can be integrated with any of the software application as well, so that with this pickle file, with the creating a single function, will be able to at least get, okay, this function contain a malware or this function not contain any of the no, malicious information. Let we understood after this, like after saving this model, like what already shown this prediction right now, it is containing this malware, it is containing a malware right now. After the detection of this, now just need to perform a reverse engineering. Now, whatever the content that executable file contain, I just want to understand it. For understanding of this, just need to extract the string, like extracting the all printable string from this mindy file. Mindy file in term of mean dot executable file, or in term of mean like the file that contain that will be can be a DLL file. For this, first of all, I just need to connect. Let after this malware detection, we understood this thing like already having a malware right now. After this, let us first connect this with Google Drive, which means first one is malware detection. That is necessity. After necessity, after finalizing, okay, this is this file that contain malicious code. Thereafter, need to perform a reverse engineering. Now, for reverse engineering, I need I need the p file p file is actually portable, this portable executable file. P file, this is a library. What is the rule of this library? What like portable executable file mean, like binary file dot exe file dot dll file. First of all, just need to install this pe file, like portable executable file. This is a library that is pre-built available, and OS that I will be using it just for opening a file, like OS like for selecting a directory, and thereafter I have used a google.colab for import file, so that will be having a one file file button. With that button will be able to select a file. After this, the first task that we have to do is, like, take an example. If we want to retrieve, identify the hard coded URL, IP addresses, suspicious string, the first task that will be required is to the first task that is essential one is to extract the string, which already mentioned in the static analysis, in dynamic analysis, even right now doing it in a machine learning, which means from the binary file, whatever the useful content that I need it for investigation, like hard-coded URL, IP address. For that, first one is we just need to create a one function for extracting string. What exactly this extracting string it will be, like the ASCII code that we were talking about in this flaws. This flaws the ASCII code right now. Same process we are going to do it with the machine learning mean, like, first of all, what we just need to have a one file path. File path will be like, this will be the executable file, portable executable file, like which mean it can, like, it will be the window executable file or the DLL file. That file we want to analyze it. After this analyzing, which mean that it, first of all, whatever the ASCII character it will containing, ASCII character, uni character, like already showing the static strings, the tight string, everything it will be showing, store it in this, and thereafter whatever the string it will be containing is just, this is just a normal string array. What exactly this will contain, all the extracted string, which mean the three parameter that I am going to take is, the first one is param file path. What exactly it will be containing? It will be containing the binary file that we will be uploading. And thereafter, after uploading it, it will be retrieving all the data, string data, and every string data when it will be going to retrieve, thereafter going to put it in the amend state. And after appending the whole, last completed string array will be going to return. Let me first run this. That's, you can right now. This is a normal definition, function definition. We are able to run it right now. After running of this, after creation of this, very next one is what exactly we want to extract. Actually, the extraction will be containing entry point, image base, section header, imported function. Is in entry point, for this entry point, like first one, the PE file that already shown you, this PE file. PE file, this is a library which is already already available in this available Python. First of all, when we want to analyze it, as you can see, first one is analyzing. Analyzing mean just need to input a file path. After inputting a file path, here we have here we have the constants, actually optional header. In this we have a we have a constant function like address point, address of entry point. Let us see what exactly I want to extract: entry point, image base, section header, and imported function from this portable executable file. For analyzing of this, just like see the print function. Print function is actually what, like, it will display it on this, display the outcome on the console, which, like, thereafter what exactly, thereafter after printing of the whole basic information, thereafter just want to retrieve the section header as well. Section header mean the URL information, like virtual address, the size of raw data, and all this step, everything, like what, in a decoded manner, not in an encoded manner, decoded manner. After thereafter imported function mean this will be responsible for uploading a file. After uploading, after this, which what exactly we need to do is, like, which means this like decode the ordinal or a non-ordinal, everything it will be decoded. After decoding of this is the this is the this is the files import we have used. Right now here I have utilized this, and this, as you can see, I just have created a normal method function, the binary file, where when I'm just going to click it here in this uploaded section, as you can see right now, I'm able to select choose a file. In this, I just need to select any executable file. After selecting the any of the executable file, as you can see right now, it is providing me the complete detail. It is providing me the extracting the whole detail and extracting the even PE file data, section header data, imported function data. At the time when we have, let us select another file. Let us select the TeamViewer file. As you can see right now, it is retrieving the whole data. It's like 16 percentage done, 17 percentage done. But the same process, if we want to do it in this, like we already have installed flaws. And take an example, if I'm just going to open a command prompt here, and if I'm just going to type a command flaws space, going to run it right now, what exact the response it is giving to me. Let me compare the response. As you can see right now, cannot defoscate string from the file larger than 0x1. That means having a limitation of this. Like we are saying this is a static analysis. Like when we are just going to drop the when we are going to apply it on a ultra viewer, it is able to retrieve it out. But right now, if I'm just going to apply it on a like applying it on this team viewer, not able to retrieve it out. But in this, as you can see, if we are going to use our on machine learning platform or on machine learning model, the benefit of this will be like we'll be able to apply it on a larger file as well. As you can see right now, just if I'm just going to drag this ultra file, it will be giving me a response. It is providing me complete analysis of the program, and thereafter will be providing me the complete detail, accepted all this thing, and will be providing me the complete detail. But right now, as you can see right now, still it is right now in a running state, which means extracting the whole information even from the large file as well. This is a benefit of machine learning software application. And the more beauty of this machine learning model is like when we just need to develop it only for a one time. After developing it for a one time, that we can utilize it by just integrating with the software application, by integrating with the mobile application. That all will, as you can see right now, The first one, when I just have applied this TeamViewer setup underscore 64.exe, not able to extract the file. The reason behind is saying the larger file. But if I'm just going to upload 2 to 3 MB file, able to extract whole in static strings. That means the static analysis, yes, obviously it will be the beneficial one for and for extracting the string data, but this analysis can be done it for us by like having a limitation of use of, for the use of this. But right now, as you can see, still 70 percentage of data that already been done. Let we just wait for a minute or a two, and thereafter we'll be getting what exactly the string information and the what exactly the data that we are getting it from this. Like after like extracting all this string, like every information that we will be seeing in this after this, like having a section header information, imported function information, all the basic information will be here right now, just after uploading the whole. As you can see right now, it is just extracting the string data right now, which means the file has been fully uploaded, and thereafter you will be able to, like this is majorly needed it for investigation. Like see, as you can see, like 8,47,316 string that has been extracted right now. Even this, what exactly it is showing, this program cannot be run it on a DOS mode. And what exactly this section header contain? Section header does not contain any of the malicious link and imported function, which mean these are the function that actually contained by this header team viewer. And thereafter, what exactly the benefit of this? Like this, like as you can see right now, like having a one prompt, with that prompt user will be able to upload a file. After uploading of a file, take an example, if I'm not going to upload a let us suppose if I'm just going to select any of the other file, by default it will be returning me this is let us suppose if I'm just going to upload any of the PDF file, which mean it is just going to retrieve, but again it is showing me the file is not PE. That's why I'm not able to analyze it. This means the benefit of this, like if we are going having a conditional clause as well, like when we are going to write or writer on code, which means the benefit of this will be like will be having authority to handle the control flow, will be having an authority to handle the whole thing. I hope all are able to understand it, how we can perform reverse engineering. But before performing the reverse engineering in a machine learning, very important one to do the malware detection. After detecting the malware, if found this file is malicious, want to reverse engineer it, this is the process, like which include PE file. And let I'm just going to conclude it what exactly we have understood in my complete 2 hour session. I just have started it by just giving a normal introduction, like why this reverse engineering is needed and what exact the benefit of this reverse engineering. Which mean like any of the suspicious content if it is having, I want to protect myself. I just need to understand the behavior of the system. Like three basic steps we have discussed. After the understanding of this, what exactly, like, from virus to ransomware, everything counted it as a malware. And why do we need reverse engineering? The reason behind is, like, for analyzing purpose. And after this, like, we just understood when should we have to use this reverse engineering. And thereafter we have discussed about static and dynamic malware analysis. Like, what exact the static mean, the just to retrieve the metadata, timestamp, and a hashing function, even without worrying about, because we are not going to run the code. But in this dynamic, having isolation, we need to use isolation software, like kind of a sandbox for running for running it, but will not be going to run it in my local machine. We'll be running it in just a control environment. Thereafter, we have understood what exact the steps of reverse engineering are. Like six steps there accordingly. Last step will be for after finding need to create a report. Thereafter, we have understood the virus total, which is the online tool that is available for analyzing with that will be providing you information like it is malicious or not, having a complete hashing signature info as well as file size detail. Thereafter, sting analysis, which was two sting 2 and flare flaws. Thereafter, we have understood why flaws is much better, and thereafter we have understood what exactly the limitation of flaws is, and why do we need machine learning model, because the reason behind was the flaws will work it on a very small file. If the file size is larger, which means we cannot run it on this flaws tool, we just need to have a knowledge of machine learning thereafter we, and having like how actually it works, we understood that these seven steps, and thereafter move it to a dynamic analysis tool, in which the first tool that we have seen, which was actually the malware hunting toolkit, the process monitor. Thereafter we have the multiple sandbox that are available. Like I have shown to you this interactive malware analysis for a real time, which use real time sandbox any dot run, and like how attackers are using this reverse engineering. Like we always need to not need to use it in an unethical way, like not need to use it for malware cloning, for creating like a trojan kind of a software or a bottleneck. This is totally unethical. And thereafter you just need to, to understand this ethical consideration. And thereafter we have discussed this malware detection code, how we can perform this malware detection, like code, like the the file containing a virus or not. And lastly, for feature extraction, like string extraction, like for extracting the entry point image based section header. This is the machine learning code that we have understood right now. If anyone having any query, kindly ask it.